Well, look, we're back. And it does look like we're actually back here. This is good. Okay. Yep, we're live. Okay, politics. What are we going to talk about? Well, I said we were going to talk about the big China parade. Now, when you put on your military like that, there's got to be a trick. And I remember where that trick came from. The most clever use of we. That's WII. Now, about the time when we's were very big, you had the Olympics in China. And they did an amazing synchronized show, just like that. Every tiny little degree was perfect. Notice everyone was the same size, too. You think they found them in the military, or they just trained a lot of professional walkers? And I think they did that by mass computer gaming, basically. You just get them all the same size, you work them with that scanner technology that you had on the Nintendo Wii, which was a lot of fun. Uh, they went out of fashion. The scanner cords were really weak, and I noticed they had problems with those, and they get torn off and things like that. But well, 2 in the morning seems to be bugs out of. Oh, and look, I started typing, and it came back. Well, I do believe that the hypothesis that if you use any kind of words that are a little bit controversial, suddenly I had a problem. Unfortunately, one of the words was the name of a company that, well, that was kind of interesting, but rather controversial in its own way. Well, what else do you say on a live? What did my title say? So we went through the little boat that could off the coast of a country south of the United States that didn't quite get to where it wanted to, and it had some stuff that it wasn't supposed to have to. I guess according that could lead to some issues. Hard to talk politics when you can't really say any words that are controversial. Well, what was the third thing I had on there? Well, we can go into why we had all the I don't want to say axis of evil, but I think that's what they usually call them. Um, I mean, when you have to look at a country and you have to know that it's a country and it does country things, and you're not going to like how things are done, and some other people aren't going to like what things are done, and it's all going to end up being, well, kind of um, just a bunch of people hanging out, watching a lot of people who trained on a computer console that isn't as popular anymore. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I think I do. We went into that. Well, this has been a 4 minute um, going off. And if I missed anything, I missed something, but I didn't expect to be turned off in the middle of talking. But what can you say? We are new, we are live, and this is two lives tonight. And I do think it works a little better after 2 a.m. And why am I up at 2 a.m.? Um, it's quiet. It's a quiet night in the forest. And a lot of times we stay up because of storms in the wintertime. And just to keep the house warm, cool, we keep the windows open all night. We do housework, basic stuff that it's just nicer to do when we have a nice place, but unfortunately the traffic's gotten worse. And California used to have specialized gas, and that specialized gas was better for people who were living close to highways. And it created the California indoor outdoor lifestyle. And the indoor outdoor lifestyle, well, it's nice until you have a lot of really toxic smog near you. But I can also see why it wasn't worth paying for, because you had another terrible culprit, actually two of them, when people started using grinders in their garages. Oh, hey, yeah, let's see how far we can fling those, high velocity metal and wood shavings. And then the dreaded, and insanely horrific for just about doing anything outside. Because you have any jealous neighbors whatsoever, you want Magna, making America great again. Well, you can't do anything that used to be very American outside. Why? Well, let's see. We have a problem. We have the problem of leaf blowers. Yeah, a leaf blower was made for a big estate lawn in fall. And actually, they came with leaf suckers when they first came out, or a lot of them did. At least the ones they thought were going to be in homes. That didn't last long. But it changed. You can't depend on being able to be outside in your yard and not having things thrown at you that should not be in the air. I mean, a week's worth of random dust, pollen, and traffic exhaust, it could be suddenly all in the air at one time. We think we have problems with medical. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at stuff like that, because that's insane for your immune system. I mean, we have toxin. And if you consider that people who are on heavy drugs for everything, because it's just easier to throw drugs at a problem. Oh, no, it didn't go off. Okay. It's just easier to throw medication at a problem than to deal with the lifestyle changes, because, well, I don't think a doctor um, gets very far, prescribing that you change your filter in your air purifier or your furnace. Um, that's not what people are paying for. And that's too bad, because they breathe out. And in a lot of situations, you have a lot of the air just being taken out of the oxygen just taken out of the air by planar rings that are the basis of a lot of drugs and solvents and detergents, things that cut like well, I have a friend who said it very well. A planar ring substance is like a chainsaw. It'll cut anything. Just you know why does it cut pain? Well, because anything that was very active, it takes out. And if it happens to be the chemicals that are causing pain, the situation that's causing pain, or you driving and not being able to drive anymore, it just cuts it out. You don't want to repeat things. And sometimes, your oxygen is low. We have things happen in the world. We had a huge earthquake, the sixth largest in recorded history, was up underneath a very remote Russian peninsula that had a submarine base in it too, which made me think of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Um, yeah, you got to realize there was a part when, the Nazis were with Russia. And there was a lot of mythology to that movie. And there's a lot of lava tubes in that peninsula. And lava tubes probably would make really, really good places for bacteria, and bacteria filters the water just like in a fish tank. And if you break up a lot of those with an 8.8 earthquake, we might be literally having a low oxygen situation, which makes a lot of our toxic lifestyle even more toxic. Um, so be careful of being around too many toxins. And I hope everything levels out again. I think that's what the world's pretty much made for. It finds its own ways to deal with that kind of thing. Let's see, I'm sure there's something else to talk about, but wow, I've gone 10 minutes. Almost 10. Now, this might have stopped because it did have some times when it went off, so I'm not sure how this will be. I'm new at this. and I do have fun, and I thank you. And this has been, well, the Wendy Channel, Morning in Politics. Take care. Bye.